The obsolete dream of traditional success, rethinking work, wealth, and the entrepreneurial mindset. In a world that's rapidly changing, many of us still cling to the traditional idea of success. Go to school, get a stable job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term. This formula, passed down through generations, seems like the sure path to financial security and happiness. But what if this approach is obsolete? The problem with the old playbook. Today the reality is much different. With governments printing trillions of dollars, the value of money is eroding. The wealth gap between the top 1% and the rest of society is widening at an alarming rate, and the rules that used to apply to saving and investing simply don't work anymore. Saving money in a system flooded with debt is a losing game. As inflation rises, your savings become worth less and less, while those who know how to leverage debt are benefiting from the changing economic landscape. The problem lies not in money itself, but in the mindset we've been taught. For generations we've been told that the key to financial success is job security and a steady paycheck. However, this approach isn't about getting rich, it's about staying middle class, and that's a big distinction that few are taught. The Rich Dad's advice: don't be a slave to money. In his groundbreaking book, Robert Kiyosaki shares a critical lesson from his rich dad. The paycheck is one of the most damaging things you can take in your life. Why? Because the moment you accept a paycheck, you lock yourself into the mindset of an employee. Your focus shifts from building wealth to simply earning money, a pursuit that keeps you tied to the system, paying taxes and working to meet someone else's bottom line. Kiyosaki's rich dad didn't pay him, intentionally teaching him the entrepreneurial mindset. While his poor dad, a government employee, believed in the safety of a regular paycheck, Rich Dad understood that real wealth is built outside of traditional employment. By refusing to pay Kiyosaki, Rich Dad forced him to think beyond just earning money. Instead, he needed to find ways to make money work for him. This shift in perspective is a pivotal moment for anyone considering entrepreneurship. When you let go of the need for a paycheck, you open yourself up to greater opportunities. Even if you fail, you're free to try again. And unlike the self-employed who still rely on a paycheck, true entrepreneurs don't need anyone to take care of them. They create opportunities and control their own financial destiny. The mindset and rules of an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur isn't just about starting a business. It's about adopting a different mindset. Entrepreneurs don't follow the same rules as employees or small business owners. The mindset of an entrepreneur is one of abundance, risk-taking, and adaptability. Unlike employees who are restricted to a salary, entrepreneurs control their income through creative ventures and investments. They leverage opportunities in ways that allow them to grow exponentially. And the rules they play by are different. They know how to navigate debt, taxes, and risk to their advantage. Entrepreneurship is not just about making money, it's about mastering the rules of the financial game. The power of debt and taxes. One of the most counterintuitive ideas that Kiyosaki promotes is that debt and taxes, often seen as obstacles, can actually be used as tools to build wealth. For most people, debt is something to be avoided, and taxes are a heavy burden. But for entrepreneurs, debt is leverage, and taxes can be minimized through smart investments. Take real estate, for example. Kiyosaki points out that wealthy entrepreneurs use debt to acquire property, which often results in greater returns on investment. By refinancing debt at a lower interest rate, he turned millions in debt into a fortune. Meanwhile, most people continue to avoid debt and worry about taxes, all the while missing the opportunity to use these forces to their advantage. And while the majority of people in traditional jobs are taxed heavily, entrepreneurs know how to structure their finances to minimize their tax burden. By investing in real estate or other businesses, they can reduce their tax liability and keep more of their earnings. The myth of job security. The concept of job security is also outdated. Many people believe that a high-paying job with benefits is the key to stability. But the reality is that even well-paid professionals are being hit hard by taxes and inflation. Kiyosaki shares an example of his doctor friend who proudly made $1 million only to lose $750,000 to taxes. At the end of the day, he was left with less than $400,000, far from the financial freedom he expected. For Kiyosaki, the solution isn't to work harder for a paycheck, but to work smarter by building businesses, investing in real estate, and leveraging debt. By doing so, he can keep the full value of his earnings and control his financial future. The new economy, inside versus outside control. What many don't realize is that the economy is not just what's happening in the external world. It's also about your internal mindset. An entrepreneur's internal economy is strong because they believe they can make money in any situation, whether the economy is good or bad. On the other hand, those who rely on external circumstances, like the availability of jobs or a stable market, are more likely to struggle. The internal economy is about controlling your own mindset and decisions regardless of external challenges. Entrepreneurs thrive because they can adapt, innovate, and keep pushing forward even when things look bleak. The takeaway: rethink the system. The world has changed dramatically since 1971, when the US left the gold standard and money became debt. Today, the old ways of saving, working for a paycheck, and investing in the stock market are no longer enough. If you continue to cling to these outdated strategies, you may find yourself left behind. Instead of focusing on getting out of debt and saving money, consider how you can leverage debt, build businesses, and invest in assets that allow you to create wealth. As Kiyosaki reminds us, savers are losers and cash is trash. The real opportunity lies in becoming an entrepreneur, adopting the mindset that allows you to control your income and your destiny. In a world that's constantly evolving, the only way to thrive is to stop following the old playbook and start thinking like an entrepreneur. It's time to rethink what you know about money, work, and success.